Hey y'all, today's video is something I get a lot of questions about on our house. It has to do with our concrete floors that we sealed ourselves. And so today I'm just going to answer a couple questions that I get a lot, tell you what we used, show you kind of what we done as far as applying it. We didn't take a lot of video when we put it down during the construction phase, but we did take a few pictures and I think a few short clips of video while we were putting it down to give you kind of an idea. But anyways, yeah, this is just a video about sealing concrete floors in a pole barn house or a regular house. Here's a view of our concrete floors. Sorry if you hear any noise in the background, the dishwasher is going. But yeah, this is just smooth finished concrete floors. We've got a few cracks here and there. Here's another crack right here. One thing about concrete floors, and one thing about concrete period, is that it will crack. It's just a matter of where and how bad. But as you can tell, these floors aren't super shiny. They do have a little gloss finish because you can see the reflection of the lights in the floors. But we really like how the floors turned out. It was super simple, and couldn't be happier with it. And like I said, this is not stained. This is just the concrete color. We cleaned it really good and sealed it. So as I was saying, we didn't stain the floors or anything like that. We just cleaned the floors really good and sealed them with this Eagle Armor Seal. Now this is 5 gallon, and I think I gave like 150 or 160 bucks for 5 gallon. I ordered it off of Home Depot. We used maybe 1.5 gallons, but I've got extra to reseal the floor later on. Depending on the traffic, that's going to be on your floor, I don't know how often to reseal your floor. I'm going to say every couple years would be fine. So kind of the rundown of the process, we had the concrete poured, they finished it, and I was kind of the in between. Do I seal right after the concrete's poured, or do I wait and seal prior to moving in? And so after a lot of thought and reading online, I decided to wait because I didn't want to seal the concrete floor and be working on it and scuff it up and scratch it up. But I didn't want to seal it, scuff the floors up, ruin the finish, and then have to come back and seal it again. Now, you can, nothing wrong with that. I just personally didn't want to. So what we done is, after construction phase was done, about a month prior to moving in, which was just kind of small work in the house, we came in and mopped and cleaned up really good. It took us a total of 2 days, and this is a 30 by 36, 1,080 square foot home. It took us 2 days to clean all of it and seal it, which we didn't seal under where carpet was going, but we did clean it. So we did clean all the floor space, but we just didn't seal what was going to be under carpet. So we came in and we swept, shot back, and then we mopped. And then we come back, swept, shot back, and we mopped again. And then we came in with some little light degreaser. We didn't go too crazy with degreaser, but spots where it was really stained or really a lot of dirt, we come in with some degreaser and a really stiff bristled brush and scrub the floors really good. We got the floors as clean as we could possibly get them. And if you look into this stuff and any kind of floor sealer, the key to it going on good is the prep work. Same goes with staining your floors. All your time is mostly in your prep work, doing this and staining it, sealing it. You don't have a whole lot of time invested, but getting the floors prepped, that's very important. So after we got the floors really clean, then we started sealing. Now, we just use a regular roller that you get from the store, and we poured our seal into a pan. And I would highly recommend getting you a long pole. This pole here is about 6 foot long. This will save your back. trust me, get you one of these. Pour your sealer into your pan. Do not pour your sealer directly onto the floor. You can look up this Eagle brand, and you can find this Eagle Armor Seal on their website, and they have a lot of good information on there as far as how to put it down. But it does say don't pour it directly on the floor. So pour it in your pan and get a little bit. The key that I found out, and it says it on their website as well, is put it down really, really thin. You don't want to put it down too thick. So after you get that thin first layer down, you'll let it dry. And once it dries, you'll come back and put a second coat. But you will put that second coat perpendicular to the first coat. So if you go this way with your first coat, do your other coat the opposite direction. Now, one good thing about this Eagle Armor Seal is it is water-based. So, being in an enclosed space, the smell isn't overly strong. It's got a low odor. Now, we did raise the windows and open the doors during the process, but the smell really wasn't that bad. No worse than, painting a room or something. It wasn't bad at all. Now, one thing that I did fail to mention is before I bought this, I actually called them just to make sure it'd work in our setup. And they were super helpful. I highly recommend, if you're unsure, reach out to Eagle brand. This video is not sponsored by them in any way. I just really like this product. And if you read on their website, it says if you've got a smooth finish, which is what we've got, that you're supposed to etch it first. They sell a product that etches your concrete. And what that does is, if your concrete is so smooth that it can't absorb this will kind of etch the concrete just enough that you can apply this. Well, I didn't really want to have to go through all that trouble of etching it. Call me lazy. But when I called, I said, do I have to do the etch, or will it apply directly to it? And he said it really depended. One thing, it depended on what you were going to be using it for, whether this was going to be a garage or a house. I said, what's for a house? So he said, one way to test is get you some water, and just a little water on your fingertips, and drop it on your floor. And then after a little bit, if the concrete floor soaks that water up, then it means your floors are porous enough to accept the seal. Now, if you drop the water on there and you come back 10 or 15, 20 minutes later and it's still sitting there, then you'll probably have to use the etch. But like I said, don't take my word for it. If you're unsure about your setup, check out Eagle. Look at their website. Got a lot of good info. Or call them. Kind of looking at the back of the jug here, looking at surface preparation. It says to use the etch and clean if you have a smooth troweled surface. So we didn't use that. And it says clean your floors really, really good, which we did. It says make sure that the surface is clean and sound and dry for 24 hours prior to sealing. Make sure you do that. That was the reason it took us 2 days. Day one was cleaning and vacuuming and mopping. We let it dry for 24 hours. We come back in the next day, started sealing. So it says the sealer should appear milky upon application. If you see it turn white or something like that, stop immediately and neutralize again. So like I said, this is it's going to be different for everybody depending on your floors. Now, we applied it with a roller. You can apply it with a pump-up sprayer, a roller, a brush, but it says cross roll or spread evenly to ensure even film thickness. And do not thin this stuff. You can pour it straight out of the buckets and use it right there. But you can use around corners, or if you can't get the roller up in a corner, you can use a brush, anything like that. Coverage per square foot, if it's broom swept, which would be like a porch, 150 to 200 square foot. And of course ours was smooth, so 250 to 300 square foot. And I'm telling you, we got a little more than that out of there. We might have went a little too thin, but really we have no trouble with our floors. Haven't had any problems with staining, and my little boy drops blueberries and ketchup and popsicles on the floor all the time, or even in the bathroom. When someone gets out of the shower, there's water on the floor. The water stands, it doesn't soak through, so that's telling me the floor is really good to seal, so we come back in and dry that up. So it says put on 2 coats, roll perpendicular will provide best performance. Apply the second coat as soon as the first coat dries. That's very important too. So I'm telling you, this stuff is just super easy to use, and I mean that's really why we used it. It was cheap, it was easy to use, and I mean we've got a good looking floor and don't have a lot invested into it. So on the dry time, allow 1 to 2 hours until no longer tacky to touch, and allow 4 hours before you put in foot traffic, 48 hours for auto traffic. So, I mean, you don't have to use it just in your house. You can use it in your garage, on your porches. You can use it anywhere. But anyways, I just wanted to make this video. Like I said, I get a lot of questions on this, what we used, what we done, when we done it. So I hope this answered some questions. I ordered it from Home Depot, and I gave $159 for 5 gallon. You can buy 1 gallon for $38. So just a heads up. Hope this answers some of y'all's questions. If you got any other questions, leave them down in the comment section below. And if you're not subscribed, I sure appreciate you subscribing. If you would, click that bell so you get notifications, and click that thumbs up button. We'll see you on the next one.